Hello everyone, I'm Dan Philgreen, and this is Shell Point Today for Monday, August 18th. On today's show, we'll hear from Melody Desilets at the Shell Point Thrift Store. We'll hear from Rita Southern, who will tell us about the assisted living tea and tour events. And we'll also hear from Bob Southern, who will share his collection of sports memorabilia from his hometown of Baltimore. But first, we want to remind you about this afternoon's concert of soothing sounds with the Tone Chimes. The variety of tunes and sing-along songs that will be performed will have you humming long after the show is over. Join your friends and neighbors and fill your ears with the delicate sounds we all love to hear. The Tone Chimes play today at 3:15 p.m. in the Social Center on the island. For those of you who are single, keep in mind that the singles table is available to you at the Crystal Room during dinner time on Mondays and Wednesdays. As we've said before, it's not the matchmaking table, it's just an opportunity to have some company and conversation as you enjoy your dinner. This week and next, the singles table will only be a possibility on Mondays because the Crystal will be closed tomorrow and Wednesday. It will also be closed Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. If you'd like to know more about the singles table, you can call the Crystal at 454-2199. If you or someone you know is in the market for some furniture, Melody Desilets would like to tell you about the big sale going on at the Shell Point Thrift Store.
Hi Shell Point, I'm Melody Desilets. I'm here at the Community Thrift Store in the Miners Shopping Plaza, and I'm here today not to tell you a story, but to tell you about a big sale that we have going on with all the furniture in the store. Can you imagine this beautiful dinette set in your apartment? With a 25% off sale, we would take over $100 off. You might want to consider this set for your place. Or how about a beautiful sectional couch? Or maybe you're looking for a new coffee table. Or maybe you're looking for something a little bit more unique. And if you can convince your husband that this is the right shade of bubblegum pink, then this could be yours today. Or maybe you're looking to store your beautiful plates that have been passed down through the generations. This would be the place to find something like that. Or maybe you're looking for something to refurbish. This desk is just the piece for that. It's got an excellent shell and great hardware. And with 25% off, it's a great deal. Now, if you're wondering what this unique piece is, so am I. But here's the good news, it's 25% off, so you can make it into whatever you'd like it to be. Now, if you're looking for a conversation piece, maybe these antique chairs would look perfect in your corner. And remember, Shell Point, this sale goes from today until August 23rd. So be sure to head over to your local community thrift store for the biggest furniture sale yet. Thank you for joining me, and we hope to see you out and about.
It's the season for our annual Assisted Living Tea and Tour Days. This year, you have more opportunities than ever to check out all that is available to you with assisted living here at Shell Point. Events are scheduled starting with the King's Crown tomorrow. The next will be at the Arbor on Thursday of next week. That's August 28th. Due to popular demand, further tea and tour events are planned for September 2nd and 9th, and for November 11th and 12th. Rita Southern is here to give us a preview.
Hi, I'm Rita Southern, the Director of Assisted Living here at Shell Point. I'm here to talk with you today a little bit about an opportunity that Shell Point residents have to come and learn more about assisted living. Several times a year we host what we call our tea and tours. This is an opportunity for Shell Point residents to come to the Arbor or to the King's Crown, or both, to find out as much information as you might need or want about assisted living here at Shell Point and what your options are. These formal sessions allow our residents to enjoy an informational session, an educational session to start the day, and then a tour that follows shortly after that. A number of our residents have actually decided to come to these on more than one occasion to make sure that they're getting a good, accurate picture of what they need to do when they start to think about assisted living. one of my strong suggestions to our Shell Point residents is to certainly be educated. When should I start thinking about assisted living? Who do I go to when I want to find out more information? Or how does the waiting list work when I'm thinking about assisted living? At what time, at what point should I plan on having my name put on that waiting list? So these are all questions that we strive to achieve an answer for, provide you an answer for at our TN tours. They're scheduled coming later this month in August. Tuesday, August 19th at 10 o'clock, we'll be hosting the first one at King's Crown. The next TN tour will be at the Arbor on August 28th at 9 a.m. If you are interested in attending one or both of those sessions, the informational presentation is the same, it's identical. The tour is what is different. So if it works better for you to come to one and just have the tour, go to the other for both the presentation and the tour, it's your choice, whatever meets your schedule. We would ask that our Shell Point residents RSVP to 454-2077 if you would like to plan on attending one of those or both of those sessions. Another thing that we wanted to encourage our Shell Point residents is that if you have family members, children, your extended family, those folks, if you would like to have them attend, if they would like to have more information about assisted living, we're happy to have them be a part of that presentation and tour as well. You'll have an opportunity at both of these TN tours to meet our case management staff. They are so important to that process of learning more about assisted living and accessing assisted living, that they are there to host the event as well. So we ask that you as a Shell Point resident plan on attending one of these sessions if you haven't attended one before, and if you want to just attend and renew your information, then we welcome you to do that as well. I hope you have a great day. Take care.
Again, tomorrow's event starts at 10 a.m. in the community room at the King's Crown. While Rita is busy collecting new residents for assisted living, her husband Bob stays busy adding to the collection of buildings at Shell Point in his job as Director of Project Development. And we recently did a story on the project to organize his collection of Shell Point historical items into an archive. Bob never seems to stop collecting, even on his own time. He invited us into his home to share his collection of sports memorabilia from his hometown of Baltimore.
Born in Baltimore, Maryland. Spent the first 26 years of my life there. Left in 1979, came to Florida and started working for Shell Point. If you grew up in Baltimore in the era that I did, probably the first obsession was the Baltimore Colts. They started winning big in the late 50s and won the championship twice in 58 and 59. And Memorial Stadium at that time, they used to refer to it as the world's largest outdoor insane asylum. The fans were so fanatic, loved that team and supported it tremendously. And so many of the players that were on that team have gone on to the Hall of Fame, and much beloved and much missed since they moved out of town. And I don't think many folks in the town have ever gotten over it, quite frankly. Back in those times, players were still, average people, and they were often around town. And as a matter of fact, my uncle, who recently passed away, dined with a number of the Colts regularly. There was a place off of Ritchie Highway in South Baltimore called the 4100 Club. Johnny Unitas, Raymond Berry, and a lot of those folks would go there after games and have dinner and a beer, and that's where he would go after work. So I got a lot of autographs and photos from those guys from those times. So they were still just average Joes back then, and even though they were superstars and immensely popular, they still went out and hung out with people, and many of them had side jobs in the off season because they didn't make the kind of money back then that they make nowadays. I like the Football's Miracle Men book. That's about the 58 Colts that won the championship against the Giants, and that was often called the greatest game ever played for a long time. Orioles came to town in 1953. It was probably not until the early 60s that they started becoming a good team. Won the World Series first in 1966 and went 3 more times between 69 and 71, won it again in 83. Another obsession up there. And there was a player on each team that were like gods in Baltimore. It was Johnny Unitas with the Colts and Brooks Robinson with the Orioles. And folks worshiped them, and they were super players, super people, and stayed in and around the Baltimore area. Johnny Unitas until he passed away, and Brooks Robinson, as far as I know, is still up there. And still much revered when he comes out for events or is seen in public. Memorial Stadium was my second home, I would say, when I was growing up from my earliest times. And the Orioles was pretty easy to get tickets for. They rarely sold out, even sometimes in their championship years. So went to a lot of baseball games. You were taking a bus to get downtown to 33rd Street where Memorial Stadium was, and went there with other kids. And one night was in the upper deck along the front rail, and Brooks Robinson hit a fly ball out, and I was actually able to get it. And as a 14-year-old, that's like somebody's handed you a big pot of gold, and I've still got it after all these years. So that's a very special thing to me, that because of who he was and the time and the fact that you got it, and it was 1967, so kind of a neat thing. The Orioles had their spring training for many, many years in Miami. And they actually had the Miami Orioles were a minor league team. In 1995, I actually went to what they call the Orioles fantasy camp back then. And went up and played a solid week of playing baseball. And you played with your childhood heroes. And Brooks Robinson was there, and Boog Powell, and Earl Weaver, and Paul Blair. And because I played third base as a kid, I was playing third base alongside Brooks Robinson and shagging grounders, and so it was one of those once-in-a-lifetime things to see those people in that environment. And my childhood hero outside of Brooks and Johnny was a ball player called Boog Powell, and he played first base for the Orioles. And I guess my dad died when I was young, and he reminded me a lot of my dad. He was a big guy. Obviously, you can see how big he was. Look at his hand on my shoulder, and he was a very important part of the championship teams of the Orioles back then, and I think he was a league MVP in 1970. So it was a real thrill to see him there and get to talk to him a bit, and have a chance to play alongside somebody like Brooks Robinson was pretty special. I was a saver even as a kid, and I tended to keep things in good shape and would just put them away and save them, and that has served me well, and that they're still in excellent shape today, and very important to me.
Now it's time to cover all of Monday's happenings, menus, and Village Church connections. Right after this word from David Howenstein, who is back from vacation with an all-new episode of Listening to the Words.
Hello again. The hiatus in my production of new Listening to the Words programs has ended, and the first new program, 160, begins its 7-day run today. The Chartres Cathedral piece contains the line, "The glass in these stunning Gothic windows possesses a certain quality that causes the windows to shine like precious stones." One of the sentences from my report on my recent vacation to the Jersey Shore, among the many musicians at Washington Square Park was a man playing solo flute, while 50 feet away, another man was beating great rhythms on pots, pans, and an empty bucket. You won't want to miss the takeoff on the old radio, then TV show, Dragnet, as performed on Johnny Carson's Tonight Show many years ago. Just a taste of a program that also looks into the beauty of nature. David Howenstein reminding you that the 30-minute, difficult-to-miss Listening to the Words program airs twice each hour, Monday through Sunday on Shell Point Channel 12. Also, anyone with a computer can listen to any of the 160 programs anytime online at www.shellpoint.net/listening.
Hi, I'm Jill Aldrink, and I'm here with Bev Chandley to share with you what's happening on Monday, August 18th. At 9 o'clock, we have the men's round robins doubles tennis at the tennis courts in the Woodlands. 9:15, there's billiards in the Resident Activity Center on the island. Also at 9:15, we have pottery in the Pottery Studio and virtual bowling at 9:15 in the Resident Activity Center. At 10:30, we have the Disciple Men's Study Group. They meet in the game room at the Woodlands. And at 10:45, Table Tennis Clinic will be taking place in the Tarpon Room on the island. We finish the morning at 11:30 with the Health Connections Agility and Flexibility. That will be meeting in the Health Club on the island. It is a closed event. Bev, what's happening this afternoon?
Well, Jill, we're going to start out at 12 o'clock, where you'll find Mahjong being played in the Sable Room at the Woodlands. Also at 1:15, we have Samba, the card game, played at the Resident Activity Center. Our last 1:15 activity is table tennis in the Tarpon Room, which is in the tunnel. We have a Health Connections class at 1:45. This one is Balance and Mobility Training Level 1 in the Health Club. That's currently full. We move to 2 o'clock for the Beady-Eyed Bead Club. They'll be in the Oak Room at the Woodlands. Our Health Connections class entitled Pilates Stretch will be in the Health Club at 3 o'clock. And we have a 3:15 Tone Chimes summer concert in the Social Center. You'll be sure to take that in. Another Health Connections class at 3:30, Aqua Agility and Conditioning. That'll be at the Life Quest Aquatic Center. 5:30 is the time the singles dining will be set up at the Crystal Dining Room. And we're going to round out the evening at 6:30 with Duplicate Bridge that's played in the game room of the Woodlands. We're sure glad you joined us here today, and we'll see you right back here and tell you what's going on Tuesday.
Menus for Monday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is beef lasagna with garlic bread and spinach. The dinner special is Old Home Cooking Night for $9.95, and the soup of the day is split pea. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Monday, the special is a taco salad for $7.25. The dinner special is grilled chicken with mango peach salsa, mashed sweet potatoes, and broccoli for $8.25. And the Palm Grill is closed on Mondays. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Hey y'all, I'm Karen Chamberlin and this is Eleanor Perkins, and we're here today to tell you about the Women's Bible Study for this year. We're members of the Women's Bible Study Committee. Eleanor, it seems to be that time again, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It rolls around quicker every year.
It sure does. And I think a lot of people have been curious this year about what the study is going to be on. I've had several ladies ask me, how about you?
Yeah, I have too.
The name of the study this year is Gideon, Your Weakness, God's Strength, by Priscilla Shirer. You know, most of the people, we all know the story of Gideon in Judges, but a lot of people don't know who Priscilla Shirer might be. And she is Pastor Tony Evans' daughter.
Yes.
And she's got a very good background. She went to Dallas Theological Seminary and got her degree, her master's degree in biblical studies. But her real extraordinary gift is bringing the depths of Scripture to life. And I personally experienced that this summer. I went ahead and did some of the study, and I saw things in Scripture that I never saw before. And we were talking about that. Do you agree?
I know what you mean, because I was the same way. It was interesting to me that she's not only a wife, she's the mother of 3 young sons. She teaches Bible. She travels and does that, and she said it took her about 2 years. She told in the workbook that her dining room table was cluttered with papers for 2 years as she was doing this study. And she has an amazing insight that God has given her to, like you said, depths of Scripture in Gideon. We all think it's just Gideon and the 300 and the 2 fleeces, and there is so much more that she has brought out in this study that has already blessed me, and I'm just about halfway through, skimming over it.
I totally agree. She really makes it an adventure. We're breaking precedent this year, too, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Why don't you tell them the difference?
Well, normally we begin our Bible studies in October, and then we have a break through November, December, January. We don't start again until February. And the church this year, we're all eagerly looking forward to seeing what has been done with the renovations. And it's supposed to be done beginning of October, but you never know. And so that's one reason we're not beginning in October. But the most important reason is because this study really needs continuity. Continuity. It needs that 7 weeks. 1 week is built on another week. And that is just really important. So we are going to be starting our Bible study when this year?
We're going to be starting in February, the first Tuesday in February, which is February 3rd, and it will go through March the 17th, the third week in March. And as our committee, you know, as we looked and talked about it, it's going to be so much better to have that continuation as we listen to what she pulls out of it, that we don't have that long break. And I think it's going to be quite a blessing for all of us.
Right. So we do want everybody to mark their calendars, don't we?
Yes.
For February and March.
You know, we're going to be selling the workbooks, the Gideon workbook. It's for those who don't like to do a lot of homework, it's not a lot, and it's very well done. The books are, again, going to be $15 this year, and they will be on sale in the church foyer like they usually are, several weeks prior to the study beginning. So in January, we'll start selling the books. But we hope that the women will mark their calendars right now, just mark off February and the first 3 weeks in March as to that Tuesday is going to be Bible study.
When you are so outnumbered, so unable to complete that impossible task, so in over your head that you couldn't see the light of day even if you tried, you are exactly where God wants you. When He calls you, He does not call us to do hard stuff. He calls us to do impossible stuff, because what he likes is for us to be in position where on our best day, the 300 of our skill can only get us this far to reaching our destination. What he likes is the 300 of our emotional resources, of our time, of our money can only get us so far, so that we have just placed ourselves in the realm that I like to call God margin. Somebody say God margin. It's the space that exists between your resources and the destination, the goal that God has for your life. We don't like God margin. We like when our skill can get us all the way there. We like when our talent, our money, our time, our resources can take care of that gap. But God likes it when we have a gap in our lives, when we have room, when we have made room for God to be who He is. My friend, you are not the same person that you used to be. And when you're not the same person that you used to be, you have no business going where you used to go, and you don't need everything you thought that you would need.
Well, I hope that all of you will be just as excited as we are once you take the study, and we're looking forward to seeing all of you join us, Eleanor, right,
Yes.
in February.
That's right. Bye-bye.
We're glad you joined us for today's show. Tune in tomorrow when we'll get a tech tip from iPad expert Penny Modrich. And we'll get previews of Wednesday's Global Outreach event at the Village Church and of this season's upcoming Fine and Performing Arts Concert Series with Dawn Boren. Until then, this is Shell Point Today for Monday, August 18th. I'm Dan Philgreen, and from all of us here at Shell Point TV, we hope you have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.